hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A soul right of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week two, final show match of the week between KYS and Te, Keep Yasuo Silver, and Team Event Horizon. Some interesting tags we've got here today. And I am
Very.
Lol Meowing Cat, and I am joined here today by the one and only Penguin God.
Hey, how's it going?
It is, it's a little delayed, as we're 25 minutes in to our
Per
time block.
as per usual. I'm not sure if the stream can tell, but your mic quality is a little robotic.
Uh, are we okay on stream? We'll get some
Like,
answers soon. But straight through pick and bans. For those of you who don't know the situation, we run a pro draft beforehand, so we know all the picks beforehand, and they're just gonna be picking their champions in the lanes. So Galio was not actually the first pick here.
yep.
Although Maokai was the first pick on the red side, which is it's a bit interesting. Although it is a bit understandable when you look at the team compositions as a whole and what they wanted to achieve. Are
Yep.
you able to understand me, or is it just that bad that you can't hear me?
It's pretty good on my end. It's
It's better
understandable.
now.
It's a little better. I was just checking the stream and
Okay.
I mistimed it very horribly. That is my bad. But we have the Galio, Malphite, and Yasuo combination. That means Yasuo is going to have a lot of opportunities for knockups. Between the Malphite and the Galio, Galio is going to have some earlier knockups, but it doesn't really matter because Yasuo isn't going to hit level 6 before then. But the red side has the Maokai, Elise, and Corki. Elise is going to provide a lot of that early pressure over Malphite. Malphite is just going to have to roam in his jungle and doesn't really have a good way to get ganks off other than wrapping around and trying to get his rolling rocks off on the enemy laner to try and steal some movement speed, but that's about it. Um, Tristana is a good hyper carry along with Twitch, and Janna always solid. This is such um, a Wombo-y team fighty comp by Team KYS here. Uh, and this is such a good frontline comp out of Team Event Horizon here as well. Between the Rakan and the Maokai, there's just going to be a lot of CC to deal with this Yasuo and the Twitch. But if Team Keep Yasuo Silver can get their Yasuo and or their Twitch ahead, then I think they have a very good chance of winning this game, Young Cat.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that there's some frontline on the side of Team Event Horizon, but it's really only a Maokai. They have a Rakan too, but he's not really that tanky. And then
Yeah.
when you look at the mid laner of Keep Yasuo Safe, it is that trademarked Yasuo, and he provides that wind wall which can block the damage from both of those hyper carry or the hyper carry Tristana and the mid laner Corki. So that and even some of the damage out of that Elise potentially.
Yep, it's going to be really interesting to see how they play this because a lot of it does depend on this Yasuo, how he plays this, how comfortable he is on the champion. Considering their team name is Keep Yasuo Silver, it's very likely that he has a lot of experience on this. But um, we will see how they do it. Once all these champions hit level 6, there's going to be some massive team fight potential. I hope you got your dancing shoes on here, Meow and Cat.
Yeah. It is worth mentioning that they picked three magic damage dealers on Team Event Horizon in the top side of the map against a Galio. They saw the Galio pick and then picked a Corki after that.
Yeah.
So that's a bit interesting because this is giving free reign over to the Galio completely. I mean, he might go Ninja Tabbies possibly, although there's a lot of CC, so probably still will be the Merc Treads. And he could just stack some magic resistance early on, not really worry about the Tristana until much later, and be almost unkillable in those mid game team fights.
Yep, it's going to be pretty tough for Team Event Horizon to take down this Galio, although the Tristana should be alright. She should be able to handle him. It just depends on how far this Galio can get, because if Galio can build his tank items faster than Tristana can build her damage items, then he's going to be nigh unkillable in this game. He's just going to be able to get that grand entrance in and do that Wamba combo, get Yasuo his free 2v5 pentakill, and hopefully Team Event Horizon can play around that, because honestly, if they just spread out a little bit and try and uh, do like a 1-3-1 with this comp, it could work. Maokai can split decently well against Galio, and Corki can split pretty well. He probably will probably die against Yasuo, but we'll see how it works in game.
Yeah, well, Maokai doesn't have great split pushing presence because of his low damage. But the thing that I'm really wondering is, so the Maokai obviously is an incredibly strong pick because of his immense lockdown potential. And then you have a Yasuo who is wanting to really just go in there and, kind of just go crazy. This Maokai is going to kind of prevent a lot of that, possibly, if he plays right. But even
Yeah.
if the Maokai locks him down, all of the power is in the hands of keep Yasuo safe, because they have the potential to keep Yasuo safe. They have Janna who can shield him, as well as using a Mikhail's to remove any of that CC, the root specifically.
Yeah, they sure do.
And then the Galio ulti as well. That's the big one.
Yeah, that damage reduction did get nerfed in the most recent patch, so it's now no longer that 45% damage reduction. It is now 35, I think. And that's a pretty hefty damage reduction nerf. That means that you're also going to take an extra 10% more damage in these fights if he's the one getting ulted. Although you have to imagine they might play it as like a counter engage comp, depending on how this game goes. If Team Event Horizon do get ahead, they're going to have a very, very good pick comp with the Maokai and Elise, because they have a lot of that single target CC. And they also have a lot of peel for their carries. So it depends on which team gets ahead, if I'm quite honest.
Yeah. And with that, we are loading into the game, so we will go to a quick break, and we will be back shortly onto the Rift.
We sure will.
And with those noises, we are on to the Rift. In the first match of the best of 2 series between Keep Yasuo Safe and the Team Event Horizon.
Yep, we are getting into the first game of 2 between these two teams. very excited to see this game. This is going to be really hype, and I'm hoping that Yasuo doesn't get banned in game 2.
Yeah,
Either way.
and so the players on these teams keep Yasuo safe. We have Yoda GG in the top lane, the Magic Conch in the jungle, Not Evelyn mid lane, the Deb guy on AD carry, and Companion to be on support. And over on the red side, Team Event Horizon with Worse Than Me in the top lane, Italis in the jungle, Blinding Vision mid lane, TY 001000100 in the AD carry position, and Jasper 2684 in support.
Yep. I do want to point
AD
out
carry giving me a bit of a tough time with the name there.
Exody. I always just call him Ty. I think there was one game where I casted this team a while back. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think it was last week. But I want to point out that Yoda GG and Italis are subs for those teams. So Yoda GG is a sub for the top lane, and Italis is a sub for the jungle. Italis is a slightly higher rank, but both coaches and teams agreed. So report their jungle for feeding, I guess. And we get some pretty easy starts. Each side starting their blue buff, juggling the aggro of the camps fairly well. Elise is going to grab that blue. Galio is going to throw one more Winds of War out and leash that very well for this Malphite. Malphite's early clears are kind of tough. He just doesn't have a whole lot of early damage and runs out of mana very quickly, which is why he needs to start that blue buff. Blinding Vision on this Corgi is going to have an easy time just auto attack poking out this Yasuo. Not Evelyn, clearly not playing Evelyn, so lives up to the name this game. The spot lane gonna be pretty volatile with the engage of Rakan and the disengage of Janna. We'll see how well they can play that in one way or another.
Yeah, definitely. Some things I noticed during the loading screen are that, a bit of a trade in the mid lane is Blinding Vision gets really low, not dropping the exhaust or the ignite from Not Evelyn quite yet. So both mid laners still have all summoners up, although getting really trade heavy. And so if Italis is pathing towards the mid lane, we might see a gank onto that low health Yasuo, as that looks like it's exactly what is happening.
It looks like it.
Creeping around in the bush.
Just kind of sitting there waiting for her chance
So
to strike.
close yet so far.
Yep. You see
What's gonna
though
happen?
that the Magic Conch is just going for a full clear of his jungle. Doesn't even go from buff to buff for a clear. He just goes blue buff to Gromp to Wolves to Raptors to red buff, and likely going down to those Krugs. Trying to just get as much gold and XP as he can as fast as he can. Knowing that he doesn't have gank pressure at all, he needs to get that. At least gonna hit that vision cone there to see that literally nothing is up. Gonna check the Grump, see if it's there. That really tells Italis if he understands what Malphite likes to do early game. That will tell him that he did go for that full clear, which means that he knows that he has gank pressure. But
Oh, in the mid lane, Not Evelyn dashing in, getting really low, using the wind wall, not blocking the cocoon to Italis, looking for that first blood, and it will be secured. Italis on that Elise coming up mid lane on, holy, coming up big in the mid lane on Not Evelyn. We got some words out of our mouths.
We got it out. We figured it out. All right. That was really well played by Italis. He knew where Malphite would probably be, so he just went for the wraparound there. And you saw that ping going out, that not everyone knew where he came from. Italis hitting that vision cone again to see where, to try and see where the Magic Conch was, but like I predicted, he did go for that full clear.
Oh, in the top lane, that is gonna be that.
Yep.
Yoda GG getting really low, looking for a potential turnaround onto the out of mana Worse Than Me. Probably going to be nothing happening up here for now, since Worse Than Me is out of mana with a significant health advantage.
Yep, it's pretty much going to be a wet noodle fight up here, considering Yoda GG started with a Corrupting Potion, and Worse Than Me started with that Doran's Ring. Nothing too weird around here, except I do want to point out the Deb guy starting a Relic Shield on Twitch. What do you think about that?
Okay, yeah, so this is a bit of a cheesy thing that some AD carries have done. It got popular when it was posted onto Reddit. So this is just to get Ardent as soon as possible. Although, if we look at the rune pages from Companion to Be, which I will quickly do, Companion to Be is not running the gold gen rune page, so not even taking the optimal runes for this kind of setup on the Janna. So if you're gonna do it, you gotta fully commit to it. You gotta save the IP up to get those gold gen runes.
You do. If you're gonna go for a cheesy strat like this, you just gotta go for it because they give up a lot of lane pressure like this. It does help them get gold relatively quickly. They don't lose too much, but you can already see that there's a pretty big CS difference just because they can't fight in this lane. The damage is
going in. Companion to Be getting chunked out a little bit, mostly on the Deb guy though. Lost the majority of his health. Gonna be safe, but
smart trading
getting
by
a lot of autos down.
Smart trading by Ty and Jasper, recognizing that the Twitch doesn't have a Doran's Blade, so he can't lifesteal out of this. So he's just gonna take a bunch of damage, has to burn pots. He does start with 3 pots because he started Relic Shield, but he doesn't gain that much health from it, which is really unfortunate for him.
Oh, not Evelyn looking for? Nope, that's gonna be that. Okay, looked like a potential all-in coming out, possibly, but
Yasuo just doing Yasuo things, trying to get a little bit of that poke damage in.
yeah.
It's hard for Yasuo to fully commit onto something when they're full health, just because he can't dash to them over and over again.
Yeah. And
it's hard for him to stick.
Yeah, and quickly, while there's a little bit of downtime, as I say that, okay, nothing really significant. Look at these CS differences. In the AD carry position, 20 CS difference by Ty.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, 10 CS difference in favor of Blinding Vision. In the top lane, worse than me, 10 CS up as well. The only lane where there is a CS lead is from Magic Conch, who has been power farming jungle on the Malphite. And Atalis did get a gank off, so that gold lead is going to be pretty, evened out. Actually slightly in favor of Atalis.
Yep.
So just straight up across the board, a 1,000 gold lead in total for the team of Team Event Horizon. A bit of trading down, and that bomb doing some decent poke damage to the Deb guy.
And you guys are seeing here firsthand the downside of this Relic Shield start. While it's understandable,
instead of that, no, not Evelyn not committing.
They're doing a lot of not committing. It's kind of tough to make good points when they're doing these half-committed fights.
Yeah, and he potentially could have maybe went in there. He has, the last breath up. He has the ignite. Landing that Q onto the Corki without any mana, he can't even jump away. Oh, just sidestepping the cocoon, barely.
Yep. But I do want to touch really quick. You guys see the downside here of the Relic Shield Twitch. He doesn't have the laning pressure at all. He doesn't have that health back for a hit. He doesn't have the damage. He doesn't have the health.
Oh, speaking of not having any lane pressure, jungler coming in, Magic Conch over here. Teleport coming in from Worse Than Me though, not being matched by Yoda GG, who did not even cancel it. Worse Than Me is in the lane, but it was disengaged. Maybe should have canceled it out.
Yeah, Worse Than Me tried to teleport in and to get at something, but it just didn't work. I do want to point out that Jasper burned both flash and ult for that counter engage, and got literally nothing from it. That was an interesting choice by Jasper there. He got a little antsy, I think. So the disengage from that Janna really doing well there. Although the Magic Conch just probably got a little excited because he had 6 and just really wanted to kill, but I don't think that's the lane you really want to go for. If there's really a lane you want to go for, as soon as you hit level 6, it's going to be the lane with the Yasuo in it, so that you can get him that ult. You really don't even need follow-up. Most junglers need some sort of CC follow-up after they come in, especially on Malphite. But when you're ulting into a lane where you're ulting with your Yasuo, that's a lot of CC and damage follow-up as it is. So there's really no reason for him to have gone bot, other than the fact that the bot lane's losing. But you can already see that there's a 30 CS difference here, and this is the downside of Relic Shield starts on AD carries, because you just don't have that laning pressure anymore. You can't CS as well, you can't trade as well, and you're giving up a lot of that to try and get
right behind them, the package coming in, Blinding Vision with that quirky package, looking for that dive. It will be smashing them against the turret. Rock stuck between a rock and a hard place. Companion to be very low and gets taken out. Kill going over to Blinding Vision. Teleport channel by Yoda GG was canceled out though. And in the mid lane, Worse Than Me maybe looking for something with not Evelyn, but immediately regretting it as Magic Conch is immediately behind him. Yasuo going in, gets the third strike of the Q, using the last breath, and using the Ignite, now chasing down, not going underneath the tower, so low. He can dash in and get the kill here. Oh, maybe needed to do it sooner though, as the grand entrance comes in by the Galio. Yoda GG in here now onto Blinding Vision. Not Evelyn getting taken low by Talus, but not getting taken out completely. As Yoda GG is chasing it, but probably nothing will come of this. Unless the Talus goes left. Unless.
I am absolutely confused as to the decisions of that fight. Magic Conch had Unstoppable Force that entire time. There was no reason for him not to get the kill on the Maokai or the Corki or the Elise much earlier. There was no reason for him to just save that R button other than...
Oh, what was that flash? Yoda GG whiffing and just rolling right over Blinding Vision. Not Evelyn going in for some poke damage, but so low. Drops the wind wall to block that packet. Missile Barrage. What is that, Corki ulti? It is actually Missile Barrage. I was correct.
Good job. Yeah, there was the Magic Conch saving his ult. That was pretty tough. They could have gotten probably 2 kills there if they'd done that, but Twitch has gone back and gotten some attack speed now. It's going to help him, but he still has 0 damage. Trying to get that Ardent Sensor for Companion to be as soon as he can. We'll hopefully get that soon and likely sell that Relic Shield later. It looks like the Magic Conch is going to be going mostly tank, but a little bit of an engage going on here.
Yeah, Ty going in, getting taken very low, exhaust coming down, and using the heal and flash to get out. Ooh, jumping in 1v2, a little aggressive.
I don't think he knew that the Deb guy was there because this Twitch was stealth. He thought it was just Companion to be's Janna there, and it would have been a very easy 1v1 for him that way. But the Deb guy's Twitch was there and was able to trade just the ultimate for a flash and a heal out of Ty's Tristana.
Not Evelyn going in the mid lane, not connecting that third hit of the Q. That will stop that engage, although he's going back in again. This is a very action-packed mid lane. Not having the Ignite up though means not too much kill pressure, especially since Blinding Vision has the flash advantage. Up in the top lane though, some wet noodle fights, although another noodle is coming in. This is a 2-on-1 noodle fight.
That's 5 noodles.
Too many noodles for Worse Than Me. He might get taken out. Unstoppable Force coming out, and Yoda GG. They're just smashing him together. Rock on tree. 2 rocks beats a tree confirmed.
It is confirmed that rock does in fact beat tree when there are 2 rocks. I don't think tree...
Paper beats rock, okay?
Yeah.
Paper is made from trees, so
yeah.
Tree beats rock, but 2 rocks beats paper, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because paper can't cover 2 rocks, so I think that's the only way they win. But the Magic Conch looking to help out to get this tower, but one thing I do want to mention is that the tower taking ability of Team Keep Yasuo Silver is really low, whereas the tower taking potential of Team Event Horizon is really high. Between the Tristana and the Corki, they're going to have a lot of damage to objectives.
Even the Elise too.
Yeah, even with the Elise, with the empowered auto attacks and the auto
I don't think the spider form extra damage does apply to towers, but the spiderlings definitely do.
Yeah, the attack speed also helps too. Ooh,
yeah,
nice
definitely. As the quickness is used by Jasper onto not Evelyn, really seeing if he can noodle his way out of here. Exhaust coming down from Jasper, and that will be not Evelyn's life going away.
Yep.
Now grouped up into the mid lane, possibly looking for a tower. As teleport comes out from Yoda GG, there are 2 people here to hold this, and with that Galio, there is going to be enough wave clear.
There should be. I don't see any world where there isn't, but not Evelyn getting a little bit greedy for that wave there, trying to get some return damage in on Talus as he was getting ganked. But the nice cocoon by Talus there to get the kill on Yasuo. Yasuo is currently 0-2 in this game. and which means
Not
we will
safe.
likely.
Not
Yeah.
keeping Yasuo safe. Or silver,
they-
sorry. It's keeping
Yeah,
him
there you go.
bronze.
Yeah, they're definitely keeping him bronze rather than silver this game. Galio now has a pretty favorable matchup in this lane because his base stats are getting a little bit higher, but it's literally just going to be a
Now,
little fight.
something worth noting right here is look towards the ADC's itemization, both of them. The Deb guy immediately rushing for that Runon's Hurricane on the Twitch, and Ty going for an instant Infinity Edge.
Yeah, so the reason that each of these do this is the Deb guy recognizes that their win condition primarily comes from team fighting, so he wants to get those extra bolts off from his ult procs. But Ty
Almost always
realizes
they go for the Bork first, though, to smooth over that laning phase. I mean, he lost so much and got beat so hard in lane. It probably would have helped him having that extra lifesteal earlier on.
yeah, it definitely would have, but I completely agree that the Blade of the Ruin King is generally better, and it's probably better in this case. But I'm just giving reasoning as to why he might want to build that first. I think he knows that team fighting is the way that they win this game, and he needs that extra damage. But generally, you just need damage first. What he should have done at the very least was get a BF sword and then the Runan's Hurricane, if you're really hurting, or get just the Vamp Scepter at the very least. But Ty realizes that he is far ahead in this lane. He's got 30 CS up, and Atalis being kind of a jerk, not giving the red buff over, but that's okay. And Ty realizing that he is super far ahead, he can afford to go for this Infinity Edge first and just have a dagger for his attack speed, especially because Tristana has that attack speed steroid with that Q, and grabbing that dragon basically for free. Nice little ocean dragon and another wet noodle fight going on the top lane.
Yeah, probably won't be any more from that. Now,
Absolutely not.
I didn't get a touch on this because there's been a lot of stuff going on throughout this game, although it's been pretty stale, I guess, in the past little while. We've had some stuff to talk about, but in loading screen, I was going to mention this earlier. Rakan took Windspeaker's Blessing, and the Malphite took Courage of the Colossus. Now, I think that Rakan should have taken Courage of the Colossus, and Malphite, jungle isn't really played that often, but I honestly kind of wanted to see the Bond of Stone here, especially with the Yasuo and the Twitch, as they are going onto Yoda GG. That can hold on a second, as Ty is getting really low too though, and in the top lane, Worse Than Me getting taken out. These top laners are both getting taken out by the opposing teams, as Worse Than Me flashes over, it gets taken out by the poison, and Rakan picks up the kill. So that gold going over to Jasper. Now this top trade is going to be taken out by Keep Yasuo Silver though, and there's no bottom tower for Team Event Horizon to take. So is that really worth it?
That was a worthwhile trade for Keep Yasuo Silver there, because they traded kills on each top laner. That was just pretty much a wash, but because they had lost that bot tower already, they got to trade the top tower for it. So long run, I'm not sure if they intended to do this, but long run, that was a worthwhile trade there. But they got that tower, they got the kill onto their Twitch, whereas Jasper got the kill on the Rakan over Ty on Tristana. Now Ty got really low in that fight just because Galio provides a lot more damage than you would think.
Oh my, Atalis taking another buff. Question mark ping too. Ooh.
Dude, Atalis is just not
greedy.
Yeah, he's not being a team player here. We realize that you're a sub man, but there's a limit to what we call it.
Complete solo queue jungler.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have 100% kill participation though. Blinding Vision does as well, but
yeah,
he might just be looking to hard carry. And Jasper taking the red buff here. Ty is never gonna get one, as he's not gonna get the Rift Herald either. Oh God, excuse me. I'm dying from cancer.
I'm getting
save me.
I'm getting straight.
Oh gosh, give me a second.
As a season 4 AD carry player, getting 2 red buffs taken by your jungler and your support is the most tilting thing, especially when the enemy red buff.
And now he's getting taken by the enemy team, not having that red buff, not gonna be able to kite. Teleport coming in from Worse Than Me, although maybe not close enough as Cocoon lands onto the Deb guy, and the teleport is actually cancelled.
Holy moly, this game. Bowing Cat, my head hurts.
Oh, my throat hurts. As Italis gets taunted, nothing else so far.
Worse to me, just gonna pile away on this tower though. He's getting a lot of free damage on it. Maokai doesn't take turrets particularly fast, but Team Event Horizon keeping the 5-man squad of Team Keep Yasuo Silver in place, and nobody can really answer this Maokai on the bot side. He's gonna get this tower for free eventually. Although the TP coming in by Yoda GG might defend it. Right.
Yeah, a bit of a
Seems like
weird teleport, but he does still have the Grand Entrance, the Galio ultimate, to regroup with his team. So while, yes, there is no teleport advantage now, they still have the Galio ulti, which is basically a pseudo teleport advantage.
Yeah, basically. I will say that Worse Than Me did get about 3/4 of that tower's health, essentially for free, because the team of Keep Yasuo Silver was just taking free shots in the mid lane and not defending anything, and they end up losing the mid tower too. They are slowly falling more and more behind in this game. The Goldies is about 3,000 in favor of Team Event Horizon, and we will see if Team Keep Yasuo Silver can catch up from this. I can see that the possible team fights coming out in the late game can be won by Team Keep Yasuo Silver, but it's going to be tougher for them if this lead keeps growing as it is.
Yeah, the Ardent Sensor was picked up by the Janna, so they did have that ridiculous power spike before the whole team.
Yep.
Now, I mentioned earlier the Bond of Stone on the Malphite, right? That is a bit of a weirder thing. Courage of the Colossus does proc on his ulti, but pre-6 he gets absolutely nothing from the Courage of the Colossus at all. And that Bond of Stone will give him a health boost, and then in the team fights, it's actually going to allow not Evelyn and the Deb guy to heal up from autoing all those targets. Plus, that Ardent healing with the shielding that they get from the Janna, I feel like that would give the team some extra added sustain and make their late game just completely stronger in every aspect.
It really would. It's surprising that the Magic Conch went for the Courage of the Colossus rather than the Wand of Stone there.
Even like Storm Raiders just for the early pressure.
You can also think of it this way. He could have built a Ardent Sensor as well. Probably second item after the jungle item.
With it already on the Janna, that is a little excess, but...
It could be, but if you think about it, the Bond of Stone healing passive would proc from his ult.
I do this actually in solo queue. I play Maokai support, so this is something I've done.
It's actually kind of hilarious because you ult in, your team gets healing because of your ult, and they get the Ardent Sensor passive from that healing.
Yeah.
From
Rift Herald used in the mid lane. A
Not
lot
gonna
of
get that tower.
damage
Not
and
enough.
trading going down. Stun lands onto Yoda GG, and he is blown up. The quickness coming out, one target hit, and ulti away by No, what? That wasn't Tristana. How did he get knocked away?
The Janna ult.
Oh, the Monsoon coming out. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, Tristana's on his team. Wait a minute.
Question mark
Ulted by
face?
his own ADC. Betrayed.
Feels bad. But a free Infernal Drake probably going over to Team Event Horizon here. Very little to no contest going to be coming from Team Yasuo Silver. Free kill onto Yoda GG. It feels bad to be a Galio there. He wanted to go in where his team had other ideas. He wanted to greed for that tower, face tank it, and try and get it in the faces of 4 or 5 members of Team Event Horizon. Likely the worst idea he's had so far this game. But the Magic Conch is going to grab up this blue buff so that Blinding Vision gets absolutely nothing this game. And that feels real bad to be a mid lane.
Yeah. Now, Yoda GG went for the Abyssal Mass. Is that worth it? Because there's no other magic damage on his team. I guess maybe to make him deal some magic damage, maybe it's okay. Because their team is very AD heavy, so that Maokai could be stacking armor. Also, speaking of which, going for the Merc Treads, I'm a little worse than me with that decision for the Merc Treads. Do you want to go over that?
Yeah.
Against the Yasuo Twitch.
So thinking about it, it reduces the CC effect, and that's going to be really important because he's going to have to peel for his carries. Holy cow, that damage.
But the extra tankiness from Tabbies is so...
It is super good.
Especially against the double AD.
It is, but he's just going to be building Randuin's next anyway. So you don't want to overstack armor because it its effectiveness over time. Same
It's
with
not
Magic
armor though.
resist.
It's the ninja tabbies for the damage reduction is separate from the armor.
Yeah, it's flat. But if you think about it, the damage he's reducing isn't going to be nearly as much as the amount of CC that he's going to be reducing with these Merc Treads. He needs to be able to peel his backline, and if he's CC'd, he can't do it. If this Yasuo and the Twitch keep hitting his backline, then they just
But
lose.
really, what CC is he reducing? It's only knockups, which aren't even reduced by it. Knockups and a few slows.
Primarily the Galio ultimate.
But that's a knockup. That's a taunt.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
the ultimate. The taunt, yeah.
But that's only one ability that it's reducing. I don't think it's efficient enough to be like viable over the ninja tabbies.
It's likely not. He probably should have gone with the Ninja Tabbies, but it might just be his default. I'm in a laning phase against a magic damage dealer. I need to buy these and not necessarily looking at the late game. That is likely a mistake from him for the late game, but the Baron being started here. Already dropping down to 3/4 health.
With the double ADC is in an Infernal. It's going down quick, but not quick enough, as not Evelyn is here to stop them. The quickness being stopped, and a 3-man Yasuo ulti coming out. The grand entrance from the Galio comes, and not Evelyn barely alive, going on his high, and he will not get the kill just yet. Now picks up the kill, just barely alive on the backline. Now the Malphite ulti does come out, and the Unstoppable Force picks up one, looking for a second kill here. Just barely out of range, and this flash E, and the kill is secured. And that is a 1-for-4 in favor of Keep Yasuo Silver.
Wow, that was a really close, intense fight, and now it looks like they're going to be starting the Baron, even the worst enemies in the area. They do have some pretty solid tanks that are completely healthy, so I can see them doing this, although the Deb guy is dead, so they don't have a lot of DPS for this. Worst enemy could try and contest this, but he's just going to get scared off by this Janna. Yoda GG already going low from this Baron. It's going to take them, I don't think they can do this. It's taking them way too long. They don't have to take stats for this, but we'll see.
Yeah, the one person who died that was really important is the dev guy not being here, and oh my gosh, are they not going to finish it? Oh wait, is it going to be kept? Oh, it's completely reset. Yeah, not autoing it. Italis not keeping the dream alive.
That
if
Italis
so aggroed that, maybe they could have actually gone for that.
I think they could have because of the execute damage from Elise's Spider Form Q. They could have easily.
Her team was right around the corner.
Yeah, and Team Keep Yasuo Silver was way too low to contest it, so they could have just taken it and taken it for free, but they're just going to get this tower and probably back off from here. But that team fight was absolutely insane. That was really close by both teams. If one kill had gone either way, you saw that Not Evelyn had soloed out Ty in the backline. The exhaust coming out from Jasper onto the Yasuo actually saved Ty for a little bit, but it was just not enough. Not Evelyn does end up getting did end up getting the kill onto Ty, and ends up winning that team fight for them, but they aren't able to take the Baron. So that is still on the map for teams to take, but it looks like they're just going to try and contest this second to last inner turret from going down.
You know what I really just noticed? There have been no Righteous Glories purchased by anybody in this game.
If you think about it, though, each team wants to team fight in a particular way, and they don't necessarily want to just right-click and go for something like that. The only person on Team Event Horizon that would build a Righteous Glory is the Maokai, and he can't just leave his backline. He has to be there to peel. The only one who I think in this game that should be building it is the Malphite. Because he's not going to have an easy way to get in the fights, and he's got really low base movement speed, but he gets a nice ult there.
Yeah, the grand entrance coming out, now a fight going down. Last breath connecting onto worse than me only. So big CD used by Not Evelyn, but that will secure a kill onto Italis. Now they're chasing Yoda GG getting low, but so many people low on the backline. Blinding Vision taken out, worse than me taken out, and Jasper taken out too. Triple kill going over to the Deb guy, and one going over to Not Evelyn.
The only one left for Team Event Horizon here is this Tristana, and I don't think she's going to be able to contest this. She might try with that Static Shiv, though. We'll see if they can get it. Now they actually have the Twitch here. Try to DPS this a lot better. You can see that's already going better for them. But Tristan might try this. Do it. Just do it. You got nothing to lose.
She has a lot of crit chance. A bit risky. Baron going down to 1,000 HP, and it will be secured by a Twitch auto attack. Air quotes secured, as Malphite did not have the smite.
Yep. Triss could have gone in and got the static share proc on it to secure the kill because Malphite didn't have smite, but there was very little way that they actually knew that was possible. So I don't blame them for not going in. But that was a very clearly one fight for Team Keep Yasuo Silver. Team fighting much superior by this team, especially with the team comps. But you also have to remember that it's a primarily AD comp, so Team Event Horizon can just build armor and sustain these fights. Even Corki should honestly be building. Both Corki and Tristana need to be building a Ninja Tabi here. Just because it's so good. We'll see if the blue elf goes over. 2 blinding vision here, and it does. There we go. Feels good, man. Blue buff at 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna be able to spam these rockets.
So Atalis, if we look at his itemization right before this mid siege, as the Baron minions are pushing up here, this tower will go down. But Atalis is itemizing purely AP, not a single true tank item yet. So
Yep.
really only looking to be a kind of carry on that Elise. Going for the Zanyas here instead of maybe like a Randuin or something.
He's going for the pick Elise rather than the team fight Elise, which makes sense in this comp because you have that giant beefy frontline of Maokai, and he probably feels the need to carry. But it is the point in the game where Moby boots just need to be sold for different kind of boots. You're not going to get as much use of that as you were anymore during laning phase, just because you don't have lanes to gank anymore. You're just trying to rotate between lanes, and you likely just need Ninja Tabi, honestly. I completely agree with you in that the Ninja Tabi in this game are going to be very, very important. Then you see here that literally no one on Team Event Horizon had.
I think
it's kind of unfortunate.
I think that selling the boots is a bit inefficient. I think he should have just went it in the first place.
It's possible, but considering he was 3-1 early on.
Yeah, really looking to snowball. I don't think it's bad to get the Mobies here at all. He really was looking to snowball. I think that just he's the one person it's excusable to not go ninjas here.
Yeah.
Blinding Vision was doing okay, so maybe it's excusable too that he wanted to snowball by going for the Magic Pen. But I think everyone else really should have gone for those ninjas. Maybe the Rakan could have gone for some more utility boots or something. But I think the 2 Merc Treads coming out is really just not okay against that team.
Yeah, it's definitely not optimal. Rakan could have gone Moby boots if he was roaming early, but he was stuck in that lane, so I don't blame him.
Even CDR boots or just Moby boots so he can get deeper wards or just engage easier later in the team fights. The Merc Treads do almost nothing for him here.
Yeah, the 2 pairs of Merc Treads on this team is pretty disappointing. If those were just Ninja Tabi, this game would be a lot easier for them. They would be taking a lot less damage, primarily from the Yasuo and the Twitch. But you see here that the primary objectives going over to Team Keep Yasuo
People
Silver.
are really pushed out. Tai is considerably pushed out. Not. There is a lot of people sitting mid lane from Keep Yasuo Silver. No one collapsed up. They could have walked around and choked them out from their own base and just kind of collapsed on them.
They could have, but they might not have recognized that.
It looked like a missed opportunity.
It
Possibly.
seems like
they could have at least tested the waters with it and kind of just
Yeah.
regrouped everyone towards it and then maybe engage from there at the very least. But it didn't look like there was enough coordination there.
You also have to realize that the ward coverage from, if you look at the ward coverage from Keep Yasuo Silver, they've got 1 ward in that.
You want
blue
to check
side.
over the vision scores?
I'm looking
It'll
at
give
the
a rough
fog.
estimate.
I'm looking at the Fog of War right now, and it's bad.
Oh my, yeah, the vision scores are considerably higher on TEH,
Yeah.
especially in the support position companion. Having a 49, if you compare it to Atalis with the 74 in the jungle, really getting full value out of the trackers. And I mean,
you
also,
have that
yeah,
tracker.
that's another thing. Magic Conch going for that blue smite. I don't like that at all.
As someone who likes to run Blue Smite, on these champions who don't really have a way to follow.
But he already has a Q. He's a Malphite.
He does. He does. Getting a tracker's knife would have been far better here, and getting the sweeper would have been better.
There's value to it, but it's not enough to outweigh the trackers.
It's definitely not. But you have to remember that a lot of these people like to just go with what they're comfortable with, which is probably part of the reason why he also went for Curse of the Colossus, because he just thinks base abilities, what can I do normally. With that ultimate, you just get that free CC and get the Shield from Curse of the Colossus, so he may just have that line of thinking. But you're right, he probably should have just gone for the Tracker's Knife and sweeping. It would have been way easier.
Yeah, if you're doing off meta, you know, like Malphite jungle isn't completely something super normal, right? There's not that many resources that show it that often. Like, you can't just go search pro builds and then find 20 million Malphite jungles for easy pickings. So it's a little understandable, but you could easily compare to, you know, similar champions and then think about it
Like
yourself.
Maokai.
If you're gonna do something like this, yeah, you need to kind of figure out what your champion's strengths and weaknesses are and what their optimal builds are, because you're kind of just handicapping yourself, right? Why shoot yourself in the foot when you can have a leg up on your enemy?
He did go for the Dead Man's Plate though, which is going to help his base movement speed a lot, and he does have the slight bit of magic resist because neither team really does a whole lot of magic damage, minus the Elise. And the Elise is
Unstoppable Horse coming out, and the last breath, not Evelyn picking the kill. Quickness used from Jasper, but not even touching anyone. Again, a bit antsy with that quickness.
One thing that actually I was told about the quickness is you don't want to use it to engage. You want it. Nice.
Oh, the dead guy
there,
using
and
the spray and pray, and worse than me jumping in onto him, but not having any follow-up damage is going to mean that he's going to be taking super low. And that Maokai is going to have to go back to base, as well as Ty being one-shot as well. And Jasper having about half HP. This tower looks like it might be going down in the foreseeable future. Although, it's a bit weird that they're still so tunneled on this tower when a Elder Drake was up and Italis was down.
Yeah, they should have just, they did the right thing by pressuring this tower at first, but they should have just pushed away from the tower and then rotated over that Elder Dragon before they got the tower. Primarily because they could have avoided the team fight from happening, but they did get a really, really nice pick on
Even just
Italis.
after that team fight, though, they had, you know, everyone was going to be forced back. They could have, at that point, left and then gone to that Elder.
Yeah, you really don't want to give that up against this team because Team Event
And now they're
Horizon
losing
has,
control over it, possibly. The Deb guy went to base.
Yeah,
Dude.
Deb guy had to go purchase items and heal up from that fight, and they're losing control, but it looks like not a lot of vision is going to go over. All teams are kind of recalling here. Not entirely sure they have any vision of each other at all, so I don't think they're sure, but those Winions getting that inner turret for free, not sure if that was intentional or perfect wave management out of Team Event Horizon.
Yeah,
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Built up for a while. Remember that engage where I said they maybe could have collapsed in the top lane? That minion wave has been stockpiling and shoving since then, that long ago, so it was a big wave.
It's been a while.
And honestly, Yoda should have been there to clear it out.
Yeah, he could have been there way sooner considering
misplay.
he has TP. He has teleport, and he has the grand entrance. There's no reason for them not to send this Galio somewhere else.
It's Hero's entrance.
Hero's entrance,
All
sorry.
Right, yeah, no, I think I was fumbling it earlier. I think that's where you got that from.
Yeah. It's also hard to kind of differentiate because it's entrance from both Rakan and Galio. They need to switch
the grand entrance is a W. As he's using it here to get onto not Evelyn, who is getting taken super low, but so much going on to him. The Galio ulti coming out, and the Dev guy already getting one in this fight. Not Evelyn going back in, getting a lot of shielding and healing, and back up and back at him. The Dev guy going for a third kill as he has got his second onto Jasper. The poison not quite picking up worse than me, although it does. And that is a triple kill going over to the Dev guy, as not Evelyn that does get one on the back end. And that is going to be an inhibitor going down.
Yep, that was a really, really good team fight. They, one thing that people forget about Yasuo is that people have a mentality of we need to kill Yasuo. It's a lot like having a team on team. It ends up putting a big target on their head, so this Yasuo can be a really good distraction. And it just lets Deb guy fire off with that spray and pray in the backline and just melt the faces of all of the Event Horizon. That was really, really well played. Doesn't even give over a kill. They haven't given up a kill in, let's see here, looks like about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
and
been
with that, they're grouping around the Baron. 3 people up to the 5 of keep Yasuo Silver. Team Event Horizon possibly going to have to do something here. Not Evelyn waiting in a bush, possibly looking for a Talus. As he crits, but it is a 1v2 here. Tai coming in on the backside. Talus using that Sonya's oh so close and baiting it out. It will mean the Baron does go over to keep Yasuo Silver, however.
Yep.
And that is a bit of a weird situation where, yes, not Evelyn was stopping them, but now they don't have their mid laner for a solid 40 seconds of a push. And if Yasuo wants a split push at all, he doesn't have Baron for it. So it's...
I think that's an alright trade, though, because you're giving up 1 kill for the Dragon. It is the mid laner, which is quite unfortunate, but he's likely going to be roaming with the Magic Conch anyway. He wants to have that Malphite next to him so he can just ult for free. But this Elder Dragon is probably going to be the next objective, minus these waves. They seriously need to send Yoda to the top lane just to put pressure in that lane. He still has TP, he still has a Hero's Entrance, and there's no reason for them to keep it here because they just drop a ward and have him in.
Elder Dragon being started up, not Evelyn, not alive, means a 5v4, no vision on it, and that is a Elder Dragon secured, and that is big. They have 3 dragons. That Elder Dragon is going to be strong, and that Baron is looking a lot less appealing now as the quickness comes out, and Jasper engages onto Companion. The root from the Galley, or the Malphite ulti does connect onto Yoda, but that will be the end of that engage. Not Evelyn now here, but that is... that's an Elder.
Yeah, it is. But Team Keep Also Silver is doing the typical bronze ARAM strat where they just push in with their super minions.
That's their super minions, yeah.
Mistake. That is a big mistake. They can easily just do a 1-4 where they send Galleon on the top side, who still has TP and still has the Hero's Entrance. And when they get pushed into the base of Team Event Horizon, that Hero's Entrance is really close, and you can likely ult from one end of the base to the other anyway, so they just need to get this 1-4-1 done really quickly. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, Magic Conch getting low, having to use the Unstoppable Force to get out. And also not Evelyn getting pinged away. Going, no, bad Yasuo, don't int 1v5, but they're all top lane, and the Dep guy, Yoda, and Companion are in the bot side. Not Evelyn looking to buy some time, stopping the ports, although it might not be enough. Turret is going down, Not Evelyn still skirmishing around in the top lane, looking to maybe get a kill onto a Talus for all of his efforts, getting really low. The Q does come out, but not connecting, and means he cannot use the last breath, and he will go down.
Again, Not Evelyn trading his life for a turret. That was
not getting the inhib is a bit sad. But
not getting the inhib is a bit sad, but you can't really get the inhib pushed too hard against a Corki Tristana. But that is an inhibitor down in the mid lane and an open inhib in the bot lane, which means that these pushes are going to be even more volatile. But I'm telling you, man, Galio, guess what? He still has TP, he still has Hero's Entrance, but he's just grouped up with the team. They have him with them.
Oh, Magic Conch not with the team though, getting engaged on, using the Gargoyle Stoneplate to get a lot of health, but still shredded down by Blinding Vision. That Corki reducing a lot of those resistances.
Yep, Corki ends up getting a Void Staff as well.
And hold on. Also, this Recon build from Jasper. So, you mentioned the Righteous Glory is definitely good on the Recon, although the Talisman of Ascension is definitely a viable choice instead as a substitute. So, you know, completely okay with that. But going for a Knight's Vow over an Ardent Censer, when Ardent Censer is just, you know, the meta support item right now, almost every Recon is getting it.
Yeah, he went for those items before, and it doesn't seem like he's even going to be building it this game. So I'm not entirely sure about the decision from Jasper on this one, but it's hard to evaluate these purchases when they're playing these team fights really oddly. They did get a couple kills in the last couple minutes, so that's pretty good for them. But they are now 5,000 gold behind after that Baron buff, and the inhib is soon to be coming up in the mid lane. Looking at the vision control from each team, it's in favor of Team Event Horizon. A little bit of it's going to get cleared out here, and nope, they missed that ward, and they suck.
Oh, they're going for a collapse here up onto Worse Than Me. This time it's him instead of Not Evelyn, and he is getting absolutely deleted. That is supposed to be a tanky Maokai, and he got taken out pretty fast.
and Deb Guy is now godlike on this Twitch. He is the carry of this game.
And that is the
He also-
Gargoyle Stone Plate onto the Twitch, built from a tank instead of a Rakan. And also Rakan is ranged, so he gets only 6% compared to the normal 12% value from his passive. Of the Knight's Vow, just to clarify.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about this purchase from Galio there. The Knight's Vow is alright, although it is likely better on the Malphite because of the armor buff that Malphite gets just from having more armor. But with that, it looks like Magic Conch is likely going to be building Zoning Index with that Fiendish Codex in his inventory. But again, they're not sending Galio into a side wave. They just have him with the team.
Yeah.
Guys, he's got TP, he's got Hero's Entrance. Send him into a side lane. While the rest of you go somewhere
Oh,
else.
the
But
last
nice
breath
there.
does come out by the Yasuo. Gets ulted away by Tristana, and he actually gets taken out by Blinding Vision, who uses the package in the middle of the fight. And everyone is getting so low. Talus, one shot, uses on his already, gets taken out by Magic Conch. And then Companion B gets taken out. Deb Guy at 1 health. The GA was popped, and he gets taken out now too. As Ty is chasing down Magic Conch. Camera went a little crazy there, but worse than me getting so low, and now will get taken out. That is a throw if I've ever seen one.
Wow, that was a really poorly lost fight from Team Keep the Yasuo Silver. That was a couple thousand gold going towards Team Event Horizon, and this looks like it's going to be the mid lane pressure here. I think they're going to take his tower and probably take the inhib too. The death timers are so long at this point in the game. It's 46 minutes in. They have to get this inhib. It's basically free at this point. It's likely they're not going to get anything else from it, but they get this inhib.
These death timers are pretty long. Twitch in 27.
They can't go for the game.
Definitely could. Yasuo and Janna are up soon. That is true, but the Twitch
They
is
didn't
around
have-
for a long time. It's
They didn't
risky,
have
but
a mini wave. The Galio clears it out quickly. So I can see why they want to take the safer play. They got that inhib basically for free.
Baron
now
up
their
in
mid
20
lane is gonna be
seconds.
hard.
They need to make sure that they're getting ready for this.
Yeah,
If
they
they
need
want to
to back,
back,
like,
they have to
right
go now. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to back right now, get the vision control in their jungle and around Baron, and try and get this for themselves to keep themselves even further in the game. Now they're only 2,000 gold behind, even less than that. They're about 1,800 gold behind here, and looking at this game, it's getting closer and closer on a nice edge here. And trying to get the control on this Baron buff, but there's still a pink ward sitting in that river bush over there for Team Keep Yasuo Silver. And that's actually a pretty good ward in this situation. Corky gonna grab the strike buff for himself, gets him a little bit of that burn. Some wards down in the pit for both teams, but they're just gonna be cleared out. Yasuo starting the Baron for no really good reason there, trying to just see if they want to start it. But the Scuttle Crab for Team Event Horizon is really good because it provides them with that vision and that speed boost. Basically a little Lucio on the map there, providing a speed boost for their team and some vision. But it will eventually run out. It is about halfway done, and Galio is in the top lane. They might think about just re-entering this area, clearing out the vision. Jasper doesn't have a sweeper up, doesn't have any pink wards in his inventory. Oh, he made a big mistake. He has no spots left in his inventory. He can't buy pink wards anymore.
Yeah.
You
The
see a
Rakan
lot
does.
of
I mean,
supports.
items are nice in supports, but you're not really getting that much out of them.
Yeah.
Some of them, I mean, the Gargoyle Stoneplate isn't really going to be doing that much. Rakan isn't going to die unless they've lost the fight, basically. He has enough
Yeah,
self-heal that he can get out if he needs to.
There's no reason for him to buy a Gargoyle Stoneplate there. He just needs
He can
spots
get
for
an
pink wards.
Ardent instead.
Yeah. Like,
I'd
honestly,
be okay if he did
sell-
that. I'd be okay without the pink wards if that was the case.
Yeah, I'd be okay without pink wards if it was Ardent, but not if it's Gargoyle Stoneplate. Still the Gargoyle Stoneplate, bro. I mean, we have enough gold clearly, but still the Gargoyle Stoneplate. Use it for pink wards or an Ardent sensor. That mid lane is going to have a lot of pressure on it from the super minions.
Yeah, and
they're
Yoda
hitting the
is
base
backing.
right now.
He does
Yoda's
have the teleport.
Yeah, he does have a teleport, which isn't too bad. That pink ward finally been taken out. He's going to be able to clear this out fairly well with a little bit of help from the towers. The Winds of War does really well, but the quickness being used here.
Yeah, quickness is popped, and Not Evelyn does get taken chunked out. Getting chased down again, and Italis is on him. 3 people on to Not Evelyn. He is so low. He gets taken out by Italis, and now Blinding Vision in the front line.
Wow, that grid.
Dealing some damage. Minions into the base, and that will be a Baron secured for Team Event Horizon.
That has to be the Baron secure because Ty does so much damage to objectives at this point. He's got the Mortal Reminder, he's got the 2 crit items, and the Corgis here as well. It's going to be a nice Baron going over the Team Event Horizon, getting that pick off of for not Evelyn, and that mid-wave pressure that they got from that inhib earlier did work out for them in the end. They're going to grab this top wave real quick. Corki's package is still on cooldown, so I don't have that to use just yet. But not Evelyn down still for another 30 seconds, which means it's a 5v4 for the next half minute. This is a 50-minute game. That is 50 minutes. Holy moly, this is a long game from both these teams. And
Yeah.
honestly, not that many kills going over.
Now, quickly before this Elder Dragon does spawn, the Baron buff is over on the side of Keep Yasuo Silver, but quick little recaps. If we look over into Companion's inventory, you see an Athene's and a lack of a Mikhail's. Against a Maokai, when you have a Yasuo that you're meaning to protect so heavily, that is just so lazy in my opinion.
I think she's more protecting the Twitch at this point,
but she's not doing any
right.
real damage. Mikhail's would be so much better.
Here. You need the Mikhail's, or you need the spots for the ping board. You don't need the Athenes here. You're not dealing enough damage for it to matter. You're getting the shield for the Ardent Sensor. You don't need the heal for the Ardent Sensor. And looks like they're probably just going to be giving over this dragon, considering how fast the Movement Horizon can take it. But Yasuo is up at this point, and they are going to be fighting for this for sure.
Yeah, Elder may be going over to the team with no dragons this time, and switching around who has the Baron and who has the dragon. Although worse than me in a bit of a weird position, although his team is regrouping with him really nicely, not leaving him out to dry and die, meaning that he will be able to walk back out.
This game could go either way at this point. Meow and Cat, I want to point out, this game is 200 gold difference. These teams are so close right now, it is immense. The throws happening from each side.
The Malphite ulti does come out, the quickness is popped, not hitting anyone just yet, hitting 2 people so far, going for a third, but Yasuo getting blown up already, not Evelyn taken out. That is a 70-second death timer, and Blinding Vision looking to take out Companion here, and that is Companion taken out by Tai. Magic Conch getting taken low, the dev guy in the backside, but Tai will crit once, crit twice, and that is a kill secured. Magic Conch now getting in the back line, but not enough, as Tai is just going crazy with those crits. Blinding Vision getting some of his own, and another kill going over. It looks like Magic Conch is going to try to proxy, but I don't even know if they can, with worse than me able to tank the towers.
Yeah, and there's even a few minions coming up here. This is likely going to be game 1 going in the way of Team Event Horizon. The team comms just working very much in favor. That Malphite smacking that inhib. Very well played. But worse than me going to be able to take this tower, and Talus be able to take it as well. A little bit of Thormia going on that way, and more stacking with Magic Conch. The Nexus going in favor of Team Event Horizon here. That is game 1 going over to them. Nicely well played by them.
Yeah, definitely.
And a 53-minute game.
And
holy.
Yeah, that was throws if I've ever seen them. I mean, what else can you say besides that? That was so in favor of keep Yasuo safe, and then Yasuo was not kept safe. Died twice at the start of 2 different fights.
Yep, the Yasuo just kept getting caught out there. Kept getting caught by the CC and the team fight potential of Team Event Horizon there. And hopefully they pick it back up and make sure that they can not have these misplays in game 2, Meow and Cat.
Yeah, and with that, we are going to go to a break. Hopefully a quick one, as we are going to get ready for game 2 of this best of 2 series between Keep Yasuo Safe and Team Event Horizon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 2 between Keep Yasuo Silver and Team Event Horizon. Now, I will quickly update the overlay as they have switched sides. And Keep Yasuo Silver is 1-0 against Team Event Horizon.
I think you have that backwards, my friend.
Oh,
Team Event
right.
Horizon took the win last game.
That happened. Yeah. Right. They were supposed to be, and then some stuff happened.
And then some stuff happened. Like the throws. And then another throw. And then another throw.
League of Throws.
Oh,
As
boy.
we are getting into pick ban. And we see the Janna getting taken away from Companion, kind of one of the very easy supports, kind of just nullifying that. And so we saw some mistakes from Companion last game, but still a noticeable impact because of the Janna, just the pick of itself. So we really have to see if that influence is still going to be there without the Janna.
Yeah, we'll see if Comp can have as much impact on the game as she did in the last game. Hopefully, we'll see a nice solid comp rounded out here by each team, hoping to see.
We've gazed into the future. Rounded out is one word to describe some of the comps.
We'll touch more on that as soon as the audience knows, but we have the picks going through at a very, very quick pace here. Maokai, Elise, and I already know what's going to be picked here. 10 out of 10, it's a Ziggs. Jarvan, Warwick, and not Evelyn. You'll never guess what he's going to pick here because it wasn't banned. It's going to be a Yasuo. They have blue side already has a nice solid pick comp. Ziggs has a surprising amount of damage in the mid to late game, even in the early game. His base stats are really high. The only downside that Ziggs really has is the fact that he doesn't have a whole lot of ways to get away from ganks. That special charge does help sometimes, but displacements end up hurting him a lot more, and you can just CC chain him and he just dies. But he has super high damage, super high wave clear. The Yasuo Warwick Jarvan combo, on the other hand, that is super heavy dive comp.
It's also super heavy in another thing. It is 3 AD champions.
Yeah.
And when your last pick available is an ADC and your team bans Quirky, there is actually no more magic damage that you can physically take.
Yeah, especially looking at the way the pro draft worked out. The Ziggs was last picked, so they could have picked up the Ziggs in the AD carry position, which ends up working out fairly well. The AD carrier is
a very specialized pick, though, and
yeah,
it's not as great, nearly as great anymore.
But
it definitely would help prevent the full AD team that they do currently have.
Exactly. They would have had at least some AP here, but the rest of the team comps have been rounded out. The Caitlyn Rakan bot lane for Team Event Horizon, and the Lucian Braum for Team Keep Yasuo Silver. Oh boy, that is a lot of AD, and we saw what happened last game. The game ended up being 50 minutes long, and Team Event Horizon just built armor, and they were fine.
Yeah, I really think that Team Event Horizon has a much stronger composition. If they can make it to the late game, and they pick up some Ninja Tabbies, please, for the love of God.
Please, for the love of God, build
Ninja Tabbies, please. Yes, but if they actually do that, you'll have a Maokai who's virtually unkillable, right? Because like, how can he die against that team? What will be able to shred through a Thornmail, Randuin's, Ninja Tabbies, Righteous Glory Maokai, with maybe even a Knight's Vow thrown on top of it, icing on the cake.
You're just not gonna kill him.
That doesn't die. It's unkillable because there's no AP. He doesn't need to build a single magic resist item because what's gonna hurt him? Some Braum damage and maybe some Warwick passive. Like that's not enough to build some magic resistance.
Dev guy has got this. He's going AP Lucian.
Oh, okay. That the W damage got him.
Clearly, yeah. He's got. It's gonna be AP on Lucian. So
and I mean, Italis they already have a lot of damage, so if Vitalis does pop off at the beginning, like last game, he could potentially go for some damage, but I would like to see him build more towards, you know, a Ninja Tabby Randuin's if he's even or behind at all.
Yeah.
Because
If he
that at
gets
least
super
can
far
still
ahead,
be very, yeah.
if he gets super far ahead like he did last game, which I'm expecting it to happen because it's just what Elise does, he'll likely build a couple damage items. But in the mid to late game, when he starts falling off as a champion, you need to start building those tank items. He was kind of the weak point in those team fights just because he couldn't survive in the team fights for as long as the other champions could. But please, bro, build Ninja Tabi. Like, you're gonna live so much longer against this team. Now, Team Keep also Silver had that Galio in the top lane, which provided some magic damage, and that's part of why Makai wanted to build that Spirit Visage last game. But he doesn't have that this game. It's just a Jarvan.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
and
so
it's
so
even worse
easy.
because they don't even have the Janna with the Ardent Sensor.
Yeah,
They like unless Braum goes Stoneborn and gets an Ardent Sensor, which I don't really advise. Even in
no,
this scenario, it's not really that worth it. Like there's not even the Ardent damage added on top of all the on hit. Like there's nothing. This composition, if they can snowball, yes, they are going to be very strong with the Jarvan Yasuo combination, but everything else, there is no other redeeming qualities. And if they wanted, so let's go back to the draft. They take the Yasuo Jarvan in the first 2 rotations.
yeah,
They need to take an AP jungler. Why take Warwick? They need
yeah.
some
They had
AP.
they could
Even
have picked
just
up
an AP
Elise.
support, a full tank jungle with like an AP-ish support would help. It would do something, right? Like a
They had
Zyra or anything at all.
they had the
Anything.
they had the opportunity to pick Elise over the J4, which if the Magic Cons plays that, which he should, would have been a very very good pick there. Having that magic damage was going to be really important, but they're missing out on it. They don't have any source of magic damage this game. Obviously, unless Step Guy goes AP, but that's very very highly unlikely. Although Yoda could go AP Jarvan, those flags deal a lot of damage, but that is even
Yeah.
more
So
unlikely than Lucian going AP. But we'll see how these comps stack up against each other. I'm giving it to Team Event Horizon already.
yeah, if Team Event Horizon can hold out, they will just run this game over. So
Yep.
let's see if Keep Yasuo safe can actually keep him safe with this full AD composition. We will be back shortly after a quick break again.
There's a fire that burns inside. It's an instinct that never lies. The target's tattooed between our eyes. Stand and fight under the lights on the higher stage.
And with that, we are on to the Rift for Game 2 in this best of 2 series with Team Event Horizon 1 game over. Keep Yasuo safe. You guys know the players. You know us, the casters. Meowing Cat and Penguin God. Still joining me. Penguin, you alive? Is Penguin kill?
XD mic muted.
Penguin was killed.
Penguin is alive and well, just boosted AF.
Also, quick.
Getting
Oh,
a lot of
that's
damage.
a lot of damage. Actually, his blinding vision might even go down
Ignite.
here. Ignite drop,
Down.
but not getting that final auto attack. Eating some cookies. No, not Evelyn.
The cookie saved him.
If you see that flash, you immediately flash Q.
Yeah.
He could have had it. Even if he dies, worth. All chat
Yeah.
worth.
All chat worth with the U instead of the O.
Worth.
WURSTH. But yeah, that was a possible kill going over to him, but he does burn his ignite for the flash, which is a worthwhile cooldown because flash is a higher cooldown, and he ends up not even burning a whole lot for it, if I'm honest. He just goes back, heals back up, and that means that blinding vision is going to have one that's potion in lane, which means any poke and sustained damage that he has is going to stick around a lot more. That's basically an extra 150, I think it's 165 because it's rejuvenation. Yep, 165 health that he essentially got in the long run. So I would say that's worth because he's likely not going to be using Ignite within the next minute and a half or so. So worthwhile trade for that flash. And now the Magic Conch is also going to have that gank pressure for the mid lane. You also have to remember that Magic Conch is on the Warwick this time instead of the Malphite, so he's actually going to be able to get a gank off pre-6. So we'll see if he can provide that pressure.
Actually get a gank pre-6.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
Right. It's like watching
Something
an
else
Akali
unheard
jungle.
of. Rakan going wind speakers yet again. Penguin, what are your thoughts?
XD.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
So I understand the appeal of wind speakers on Rakan because your passive shield is bigger on yourself, and your shields on your allies are bigger than they usually are. But
He picked up a stone plate last game, not even an Arden.
yeah, you're not going for.
It's the reason you don't take a stone plate, because it's basically like a budget stone plate.
Yeah, you're not going for the shield-based Rakan, and you're just trying to.
Atalis getting really low in the jungle of Magic Conch. Both people smiting for the health, and Magic Conch getting the slaps out on Atalis, saying "Get CY sign, get out of my jungle." Getting his red buff after that too, and
Wow,
that
that
is
was-
pretty big. And Atalis got really greedy there.
Yeah, Talus trying to get that red buff out from the Warwick, but Warwick does so much damage early game. Not a lot of people respect that. It's quite surprising exactly how much damage he does. But so does Elise. Elise does a lot of damage, which is probably why he was going over there, that he grabbed that red buff. But the Magic Conch getting that free kill there, that is a free couple hundred gold going into his pocket. That puts him about 500 gold above that Elise, and that means he gets to farm his jungle as well. Elise not even going to farm his jungle, looking for a gank immediately after dying. It's going to be rough for him. He's going to be super behind in this jungle.
Yeah, and so if not Evelyn face checks into a cocoon, which he will, this might be a dead Yasuo. He's getting very low, flashing over the wall. Atalis immediately flashing behind him, using the repel, really close range, not getting that final auto attack yet, and gets it. Not Evelyn dying to Atalis, and that is not what you want to do, face checking a bush.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I don't think he expected the Elise to be there, because you would think after dying, most junglers like to just go and farm a camp or two just to try and get another level. But he just goes mid and
Just
sits
run
there
it
for
down.
yeah, he just sat there for a solid 10-15 seconds, and lo and behold, not Evelyn goes over there and feeds him another kill again. Pretty tough for him now because he is down about 10 CS in this lane already. Some of that CS is going to die to tower too. it's going to be pretty
Yeah,
hard for him to
as
keep up
speaking of
this lane.
CS, there is a Warwick into the bot lane. It has nothing to do with CS, but it might have to do with a kill. Ty getting exhausted. 3 stacks of the Braum passive. Companion to B looking for the stun, not connecting with the Q, and really low, chasing very far forward. Now Italis on the top left side coming in, maybe looking for a counter gank here. Although too far up into the lane, nothing else will come from that, so...
Yep, nothing really going down, just a trade of summoner spells, the heal for the exhaust. Early on, the exhaust cooldown is much lower than the heal cooldown, especially because Companion to be is a support player. So that exhaust will be up before the heal from Caitlyn, and that means they're going to have a little more pressure in that lane. But Caitlyn is ahead in CS, and more wet noodle stuff going on.
Yeah, worse than me out of mana. Can't really trade back with Yoda here. Now, if Yoda gets another spell rotation up, his E will be up in 2 seconds. Uses the Q without the E. He has the ulti here. He could maybe go for an all-in, although it's a bit weird that he just wasted the Q. Maybe he wants to use the ulti before reaching tower range. Not going to commit for it, so keeping that cooldown. Definitely getting some lane pressure, though.
Yeah, he has a lot of pressure in this lane. He's a whole CS up over worse than me. But he does have a lot of pressure in this lane
Although,
because
how much
he's driving.
pressure does he have now that he has no mana? He wasted it all with just
Not
E's and
very
Q's.
much. Not very much, but worse than me is lower mana. But the minion wave is pushing in towards him, which is pretty good for him.
No one has
suck
pressure
the tower.
anymore. There's no pressure.
Yeah. There's no pressure at all. Like, the wave is under the tower. That also does mean that Team Event Horizon has pressure because the Elise can roam up. You see where Yoda is right now. He's in a really bad spot. Look how much damage he's taking from these minions.
Yeah, and right on the backside, Italis is right behind him. The blast cone was popped to get over, and Italis is not there yet, although he's going back up.
He didn't get seen.
And
He's gonna get a free
Yoda
kill.
is in such a sticky spot. Worse than me, just got to hit one ability. Does not have enough mana for anything. Gets the W at this point. And in the mid lane, there was some action, although that is going to be on hold as Yoda is dropping so low. Not going to die, though. Oh, that was
rough.
Yeah, it was hard to watch as he just flashed away and Worse Than Me didn't have enough mana.
Yeah. I feel like if Worse Than Me had even a modicum
He saved
of
a
mana
little
there,
bit of his mana instead of
Yeah.
using those trades, yeah.
if either one of them had any mana there, the other one was dead for sure. Yoda taking a lot of damage from those minions from trying to go behind that tower. If he had waited even a second longer to take that blast gun over, he would have died to Italis. But because of the timing that he went over the wall, he ended up getting over and not seeing Italis, which was good for Team Event Horizon because they got the gank off. But Flash burned for also the flash of Worse Than Me. It ends up being just a trade of summoner spells. It could have been really good for them, but we'll see if that makes a big impact if Italis decides to roam back up there or invade onto this Warwick and die again. We'll have to see.
Oh, shots fired. Speaking of shots, Companion not going for the Stoneborn that we even predicted with the Ardent, but actually going for the Courage of the Colossus on Braum. Thoughts and
I'm not
opinions.
sure.
Thoughts and
I'm not-
opinions.
As someone
Let's
who
even,
doesn't
after
really-
this too, we can go into the 4 biscuits from Jasper. Getting a little fat there, Recon, aren't you?
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. One thing at a
One
time.
at a time, yeah, okay.
All
Let's
right,
get
first-
started.
First, the Courage of the Colossus on Braum. Braum only gets that if he's the one that procs his 4th hit. CC has to be the one to land the CC, but he only gets the shield that one time, but he gets it off the knockoff of his ult, which isn't that bad. But Stoneborn Pact is a lot better because you get the healing out for your team, you can get Arson, so but
As the quickness comes out, this has to go on hold as the dev guy is getting really low. Trap landing onto Companion, and the Ziggs ulti is coming out. Companion taking the brunt of that, flashing out a bit late, although still going to be completely fine. As Blinding Vision roamed down, just going to skirmish a little with Magic Conch. Looks like that's
So
going to be
that
the end of
was
that.
that was a trade of 1 summoner spell and 2 ult humans for 3 summoner spells there. That was a worthwhile trade for Team Event Horizon there, but hopefully we'll see them take advantage of this. They're staying in this lane though because it's going to be pushing back towards them. It's going to be rough for them from here on out because they're against a full health Rakan and Caitlyn. It's going to be tough for them to win this lane. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very difficult.
All right, back to support itemization.
Back to support itemization. Yeah, Companion could have just gone Stoneborn Pact and gotten the heals off from the CC that he gets anyway. But The Ardent Sensor build on Braum is actually kind of hilarious because once you get level 6 or once you slow people with your Q, you can get them to heal off
Also?
auto attacking the person you queued.
It applies on Targons.
Yeah. So you can get the Stormburn pack heal and the Ardent Sensor procs on that.
Oh,
so
both
it's still a
junglers
really
in
good
the
item.
mid lane? Okay. Pink ward spotting out Atalis. That's going to be the end of that story.
Just a little, hey there, how's it going? See you later. Happening there. We already see 2 pink wards coming out from each team in that mid side, which is really good. A lot of vision going down in that
Oh,
river.
worse than me. Kind of getting a bit aggressive at the wrong time. Magic Conscience just on the backside. Using the W. Getting really hungry for that tree. Warwick is apparently a vegetarian as he is wanting to chomp that tree. Spamming the Qs. You see the indicators coming out as Yoda GG is on the backside with Atalis. Warwick using the ult into the wall. That's a shooting stars montage if I've ever seen one.
Magic Conch, I'm so sorry for what just happened. Everyone saw that. That's gonna be
That's going in the highlight reel.
that's a highlight reel. That's gonna be one of those black and white slow zoom in. Wah, wah, wah. Oh boy, I'm sorry, friend.
Oh gosh. Okay. Back to the game at hand. Look at the
Okay.
mid lane. We've got the CS lead, 90 to 64. It's
Yeah.
actually fairly significant, so it should be mentioned. And in the jungle
It-
too, the CS lead from Warwick, 56 to 22. I mean, obviously camps taken does matter, but when you see the Warwick is a full 1,000 gold up, it kind of does tell a bit more of the story.
Yeah, it's tough. For the mid lane matchup for Yasuo, I'm glad he's surviving this lane. Primarily because he's only 30 CS down. He's got the Hexdringer, so he's going to be a little bit healthier in this lane. But oh my god, this CS difference between Warwick and Elise here is massive. That is 30 CS, and not just like 30 like wave CS, where it's not as impactful. The 30 jungle CS is a lot, but they're going in again.
Yeah, the quickness coming out, the Caitlyn Q going into a wall, not getting any real damage off, as this is just going to be disengaged by the Braum, as the cancel on the teleport from Worse Than Me Yoda's teleport was canceled by Worse Than Me. And something else might be canceled, which is Worse Than Me's life, as the Magic Conch is back here again with that Warwick. Using the ultimate, and this time it will connect, and he gets dunked, although the kill will go over to Magic Conch, who is 3-0 on this Warwick.
That's a really solid start for this Warwick. He's 30 CS up, 3 kills up. I'm looking at the gold really quick. Here's 1,300 gold up already. Like, most of the gold lead is on him in this case, and he's going to be able to run away with this game, assuming he doesn't miss ults like that again.
Again. Assuming that. That's assuming a lot.
If
If you have a skill shot on a champion, that's too much.
Yeah, clearly. But yeah, that CS difference in the mid lane is probably going to stay about where it is. The CS differential on the top lane is pretty much even. Same with the bot lane, only about 10 CS. That's not too bad considering that lane. Lucian could actually be way further behind in this lane, but Ty and Jasper not really pushing their advantage a whole lot. Braum is pretty tanky, but Yasuo going in for a little bit of damage there. That was going to be
Atalis
really...
right there. Ooh, blinding could maybe bait this out.
I think that's what he's going for here. He's going for a little bit of the bait, but I think not Evelyn, is reading this out pretty well.
He's
Atalis
been getting
just
camped
backing
pretty
off.
hard.
Yeah, he has. He died that one time. He feels bad. As a mid laner, I know how it feels when I get camped and my jungler never comes mid.
Oh, and speaking of camp, Atalis is going for ganks on ganks, although he is sitting on top of a ward. We'll figure that out eventually.
And this
Clear
is the
that
big
out.
problem. This is the big problem with playing Elise is you farm fairly well, but you want to be ganking a lot. So you end up in this habit of, I want to gank and I just can't
Oh
farm.
my, that did not connect. That was...
That was like point
I don't know
blank.
who did that, who made a worse misplay there, as not Evelyn might be making the biggest one of his life right now, and gets this deleted. And there the ulti missing intentionally. I wouldn't
Yes.
consider that an actual miss. So he
Going
is
the
1
opposite
for
way
1.
on purpose.
He's 1-1-1, right? 1 connect, 1 miss, and then 1 escape. Right?
Yeah. We'll call it
we'll
like
keep
the
mental
other
track of that.
category. Yeah, we'll call it the other category.
Yeah, etc.
Yeah. Um, we have a nice little CS lead in the bot lane, still about 10 CS, not too big of a deal. Makai and Jarvan kind of just roaming, leaving around top lane. One thing I don't think we mentioned is that the top lane turret went down. It's gone.
Yeah, and worse than me using that Righteous Glory, actually picking one up this game.
Wow, that's a pretty low passive ability that was burned for the flash of Yoda. To be fair, he was dead there if he had got caught. So I can see why, but he could have just flag dragged over.
That's the strength of the Righteous Glory, that you can really force people into unhappy situations just from an item active, right? And you still get great stats for it too. Maokai loves all the stats on that. Some mana, some armor, some cooldown reduction, some health. Like it's great. It's a field day.
It's so good. And it's only a 90-second cooldown too, so you can use it in a minute and a half. He can use that twice.
Yeah, like
in the amount of time.
Then he doesn't even need flash, which normally would be his only way to make that gap close. Now he's got something else. As not having this Kodrig is going to give them a way to get away from that a little bit. Although it's not too much out of combat movement speed, so
yeah, it's only a couple percentage. It's not gonna be game breaking in any sense of the word, but I do want to touch on. Oh, there's a fight going on.
Yeah, as there is this complete mayhem everywhere. Talus gets super low, Yoda GG gets super low, and he is gone. Jasper super low as well, and gets hit by the Yasuo Q, although does not get killed, and instead Magic Conch goes down. Companion, please block that, and she does, and not Evelyn lives, just barely. But that was.
Wait.
How did Jasper die?
Wait, what? I need to go back and see that. Okay, so the fight happens. You continue.
Yeah. So CG down mid lane right now.
The cannon minion.
Cannon minion, really.
The cannon minion got him. Feels bad for Jasper.
Okay.
All right. I want to touch on
dead guy. Oh, all the skill shots going around him. That was the Ziggs W pushed him out of the Ziggs Q and another ability.
Feels bad, man.
That was I think if two of the abilities that didn't connect hit him, that would have been a dead guy.
It would have.
The Deb guy, more like the dead guy. Ho ho ho.
XD.
Enough for today.
One thing that you have to remember as when you're playing Ziggs, I play quite a bit of Ziggs. You don't use your satchel unless you are either using it for CC and displacement for the enemy champion, trying to get them in a particular position on purpose.
I think he's trying to push him towards them.
He was, but then you also only want to try and use it for escapes as well, because it's primarily your only escape other than flash. The other thing is you'll only want to use it for damage if it's the last hit, knowing that you have no other cooldowns up and your Q is not up, or they know how to dodge it. The satchel is really easy to use and to get out of, so it's kind of not the best to use it as damage. And you saw there that it actually pushed Deb Guy out of your other abilities, which is bad. Meowing Cat, I have a question for you.
Alright.
What do you think of this Warwick's build?
Yeah, so, okay, I was gonna mention that. And now, at first, you think, okay, well, you don't have any other AP on your team. Wit's End isn't gonna be really doing much because the magic resistance isn't gonna be helping anyone else. But it does mean that this Warwick is actually gonna be dealing a lot of damage when they really want to be stacking a lot of armor. So no one else has any magic resist, and that Wit's End is actually gonna have basically like flat MR pen. If you think about it, right? It's going to be reducing it by a flat amount. So with this low amount of magic resistance that they have, it's actually decreasing it by a very large amount. And so if Warwick gets into a fight with just two people, a small skirmish, right? Just one or two people, he will be very strong. Maybe even three people. In a team fight, he's going to be very squishy though. And so it won't add that much. But in these small fights, it will be disgustingly strong. It'll shred a lot.
It will.
You know what I really want to see though? One person, at least one person, needs a Black Cleaver on the side of KYS. And oh, they are KYSing themselves right now as Companion gets rooted up. Magic Conch running through, just kind of laughing at his dead compadre.
That's a real feels bad man by the
oh, the Ziggs also come back, Companion! Look!
Companion.
That's why you don't go shopping. You gotta pay attention.
Oh no, that's a highlight reel too.
We're making it easy for the editor. Just say it every time. Just mark down the times.
You gotta do like a Clint's mods do and just do a Polar XD.
I didn't catch what you said. I heard
Gotta
a
do,
Clint
like-
reference, but I didn't hear it exactly.
Do what Clint mods do whenever something dumb happens in Polar exclamation point XD. They do that
Oh,
in that
as there's an
way.
engage down onto Atalis, and he is getting out of there alive, as worse than me dropping the Maokai ulti, but it's not going to really connect onto anyone, although he is connecting onto Not Evelyn, and Not Evelyn just barely skirting away, although steps into a trap and gets taken out by Ty. Now they're going onto Deb Guy. Righteous Glory was popped, and the Maokai will just run away with that.
Ooh, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This Ziggs is actually pretty far ahead. He's 204. His gold is like 2,000 above Not Evelyn's Yasuo. He's ahead 60 CS in the lane. He's up a kill and 4 assists.
Oh,
That
this is
so
the Wits End Warwick. Let's see if he can live.
Like,
He's got some
pull out
MR.
Maokai? I don't think so.
Alright, you know, and actually, another point. They're against 3 AP, right?
Yeah.
That MR is really good. So it is not at all a bad buy. It is a unique buy that is very specific to this one game, but I do not mind that Warwick item at all.
Ooh.
Oh, as the, what is that ulti called? Glacial Fissure. That's what it is.
Oh, Glacier Fissure, yeah.
I was gonna say the Ground Slam, which is Malphite's E.
Yeah.
Just Earth
He does
Smash.
slam the ground.
Earth-
He does slam the ground though.
Yeah, he does. Well, it's like he smashes the ground with his
With Thor.
shield. Yeah, it's Earth Smash maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not really a fissure because you can just walk over it. You know, you don't fall
Yeah.
in it or anything. You know, it'd be really cool if they like went down into the ground and then just got
Yeah.
stuck there a little bit. That would be pretty awesome.
They might do that at some point with the way League is coded now. It'd be pretty interesting.
You can actually have some not spaghetti. Wait, PTSD to Azir.
Oh no. Oh,
Azir PTSD.
Okay. Talking about this game. The Magic needs to item ASAP. He needs to get that. That upgraded.
Repeat that one
jungle
time,
item.
please. Your mic lagged pretty hard.
Oh, sorry. The Magic Conch needs to finish up his jungle item soon. He doesn't even have the jungle item completed. He should have. I agree. The Wits End is a really interesting.
He
unique
doesn't
purchase here.
lose anything really from not having it. I mean, obviously, the upgraded jungle item will give him some more health, but he's not losing any damage from it. So as long as he's not dying, it's not really negatively benefiting him. Or hurting him. Sorry, but he is getting hurt right here as the Talus is popping him. Magic Conch getting pretty low, but Yoda GG trying his best to protect him as Blinding Vision is no protection at all and picks up the Dev guy though, and will get taken out by Companion, but the team of Blinding Vision is just getting slaughtered here, and this full AD team is now just ripping them into shreds.
Yep, like you said, the Warwick in the small skirmish versus 3 enemy champions situation does really well with his Wits End TMI build. He didn't do very well in that big bot side fight because he has this build, but when he's in a smaller build like that, oh, they're getting this inhib tower. Wow, this full AD comp really showing what they can do here. Team Keep Yasuo Silver is really showing what this comp can do. With these small skirmishes, they're super strong, but we already see. Tell me, Beyond Cat, if you can spot the improvement from last game for Team Event Horizon.
The improvement for Team Event Horizon?
Yes, already.
They built some ninja tabbies.
Yes, there are 2, and count them, 2 ninja tabbies on the side for Team Event Horizon.
A whole 2?
Yes. Maokai
Whoa.
still built the Sorcerer's Shoes, or the Mercury Tread, sorry. The Sorcerer's Shoes going on to the feet of Blinding Vision's Ziggs.
And now I'm kind of having the same PTSD from last game, except from Keep Yasuo Safe, that they don't have a single Black Cleaver. This Jarvan really should have picked it up. That he could have went Tiamat into Black Cleaver instead of going for that Titanic.
Yep.
And without the Black Cleaver here, they have no way to shred away that armor. The Black Cleaver is so efficient. It's the only way that you can even make this possibly comprehensible, because if you can shred armor for the rest of your team, that is amazing. That increases the damage from everyone else on your team. If you're going to be building tank, why not just go for the tank item that allows you to make everyone else stronger, instead of going for the tank item that makes you slightly stronger than that would. And it even makes you stronger. There's no benefit to it.
You're about as confused as I am here, meowing cat.
I'm sorry. The itemization just burns in my soul.
It's very tough to see them build like they are, because we as spectators can understand what they should be building in this situation. When you're in game, it can be kind of hard to really see the big picture sometimes. But
This is something that you need to evaluate, especially like just during loading screen or something. You can just take that time to think, what is, like, you know, like my team's comp, what is their team's comp, what do I need to do, what do they need to do.
Righteous Glory though.
And Righteous Glory onto not Evelyn. He's getting locked down again. The Rakan and Maokai are just keeping that Yasuo in place. The Ziggs ulti coming out, hitting some damage onto a few members of backline, but not enough. And that will be Jasper getting taken down. And now they're just trying to peel away, as Blinding Vision wasn't close enough at the beginning of that fight, and now he's in the backside and kind of not close enough to his teammates. Although, getting protection from his team, Ty setting up a trap line, allowing him to get out. This is really weird.
Yeah, that was an odd fight where Jasper was the only one that went down. A lot of damage went down, but Blinding Vision wasn't in that fight. They could have easily won that fight if they had waited even like 5 or 10 seconds for him to walk his little butt down there. And they just didn't. They, worse than me, felt it in his bones. He really wanted that engage. He even positioned the ult poorly. He was assuming that they were...
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna rant. Sorry, I'm sorry. You keep going.
Yeah. This one last point, and then you can rant.
Yeah.
Worse than me, aiming that ult poorly, not even towards the fight. And that fight was just really quick on the trigger there. Now tell me your rant.
Okay. Number 1, Merc treads on the Maokai. There is no CC that you can reduce. Besides, like, Braum stun and some slows.
I think you can reduce the infinite. Yeah, I think you can reduce the infinite duress, but that's not really.
No, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe.
You can reduce the Braum stun too.
Yeah, the Braum stun I did mention, but that's
again,
it's not
that's
worth it
not
at
a
all.
threat.
Yeah.
Build Ninja Tabbies
Against 3+ AD, the auto attackers. Ninja Tabby is your go.
Yeah.
And also, another thing is Jasper didn't use any summoners in that fight when he died.
Yeah.
As Atalis is in a really weird spot where he might be getting engaged upon when he thought he was doing the engaging. And the Warwick ulti comes out but does not connect again. Shooting Stars Warwick, and now that has 2 people getting so low. Ziggs ulti just comes out but does not connect onto Yoda GG. But he is piecing out and leaving Magic Conch to fend for himself as Magic Conch does fall down.
Ooh, re-engage.
Oh yeah, and Yoda GG really low still, getting locked down by worse than me. This Maokai providing so much CC, and not Evelyn looking for the last breath, gets it onto just 1 member, and not who he wanted to, the full tank, and that will be a second kill going over to Atalis. This is just...
That was a messy fight. That was... This just throws upon really bad item builds, man. I'm confused as to what is going on. They went a little bit too deep there when they knew that their bot lane was getting that bot tower. I'm curious to know what their combos were during that, because Deb Guy and Companion could have just said, no, we're bot lane, don't go for it. But it seems like Magic Conch is trying to push his lead as far as he can. He now has a completed jungle item. He has more health and armor. It'll be harder to take him down. He needs to finish his team at soon, but I'm fully in support of your opinion of they need Black Cleavers on the Jarvan, Warwick, and probably the Lucian too.
Yeah, Jarvan can't apply it that
armor.
great by himself, so a second one wouldn't even be that horrible.
Yeah. At least 2 of those 3 people need to get Black Cleavers, because they need to be reducing the little bit of armor that everyone else other than the Maokai is going to be building. You even see Elise going for a formula here. She's got the Bramble Vest in her inventory with another clock member. She got this as well, which gives her even more armor. So there's going to be so much armor.
Yeah.
Ziggs built Azonia's as well, so he's even got armor. Jasper on the con built Ninja Tabi. That's 3 Ninja Tabi. New record.
Oh my gosh. Achievement unlocked. Itemization.
Achievement get itemization proper. Little couple shots going down there on the comp, but that was a lot of damage. Holy moly. Now, I can understand the sword
Yoda
moves on the side.
GG, looking
on the
for an
right hand.
engage possibly. Courageous Toss is popping, giving him a lot of shielding, so it's not going to make him take too much damage, as there is a big engage here. Last breath onto only the Maokai, and this is not what they wanted. One member taken down. Yoda GG dead. Magic Conscious dead. Now everyone getting super low. Maybe the Lucian clean this up. Deb guy, this is all up to you now. Worse than me, super low. Companion does get taken out, but the Deb guy does do it. No, you did not just do that, Deb guy. You did. No.
That's a quad kill for tie 001000100, and that was the perfect spot for Blinding Vision Ziggs to fight in. That's exactly where Ziggs wants to be. And same with Caitlyn. There was so much chaos going in on the front line there. It was so easy for them to just go off that game. And then Deb guy with the dash onto a trap. That is, if they didn't go for the inhib, I can understand that, I guess, because Warwick is up right now. But that is a rough fight for team keep the Yasuo silver here. They lost that fight for sure and gave up the mid inhib tower basically for free.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Looks like they're going for a top lane tower here, but
Yeah,
Blindly
they're just
Vision
gonna
is
go
very low. And oh god, hiccup. Excuse me. But after this, the Baron is going to be in the sights of both teams, so they're losing vision control if they're going to back now.
Yeah, they should have just sent Ziggs by himself top to grab that, because he has that satchel charge that gets towers for free when they're below. I think it's 40% health when it's max level. So he could have just gone up there and done it by himself without the kit need to go up there, and they could have gotten vision control around the Baron. But Jasper looking to go in here. Not 100% sure if he wants to, but the righteous glory pop.
Yeah, and that is a Yasuo stuck in the middle of 3 people, although they might be getting collapsed on themselves, as Yoda there gets CC'd down by the Elise Cocoon. Then the Maokai ulti, but gonna regroup with this team. Not Evelyn in a bit of an aggressive position though.
He was caught out there, but it was well played for him to actually be able to get out of that. He flashed into the blast cone to hit it over to get over the wall. So that was pretty well played by him not to die there, which would have immediately given over the Baron to Team Event Horizon. But now they're getting vision control around it. Jasper needs to put those pink wards, put the pink ward out, get some wards out. The Tracker's Knife from the Elise doing work here, getting some vision in the river area. There are 2 pink wards right now. You
Hold
see
on a
that?
second. Your mic is getting really laggy. I'm gonna quickly reconnect. Hold on. Hello?
Is that better?
No, it is not. Try reconnecting yourself. And then...
Okay.
Alright. While he does that, the Brahmin does complete that Knight's Vow with the Face of the Mountain, so providing a lot of single target protection with that. Needing to maybe get a Ruby Sightstone and lock it soon afterwards, though.
Is that better?
It does definitely sound better, as Warwick immediately flashes a wall with that W down and gets the ulti onto Blind Vision, who has 2 stacks with Ramstein, although only 1 auto is all it takes, and he is going to go down to Magic Conch. That was a very weird engage from the Warwick, not using the ulti to get over the wall, but flashing and then point blank ulting. I don't think Blindly had enough reaction time that he needed to flash there.
I don't think so either. I want to touch on the item build of Jarvan. He went for a stone plate rather than a black cleaver here. I think with the Dead Man's Plate pickup, that was kind of a mistake. He didn't need to build Dead Man's Plate. He could have built Dead Man's Plate or Gargoyle Stone Plate. Could have been a black cleaver, either one. I like the Gargoyle Stone Plate because when he goes into fights after he does his full combo, he doesn't necessarily do a whole lot of damage after that. So popping Gargoyle Stone Plate is pretty good. But the Dead Man's Plate doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, but it's getting caught though.
Oh yeah, and right here, this is a dead Jarvan. He had the stone play. He could have used it, maybe buying him a few extra seconds to walk up to that wall, then he can flash over it and maybe EQ away. Only way he's possibly getting out of that one, but
Yep.
not using it there and flashing into a wall means he is definitely dead.
He's done though.
I would say probably 90% sure he is dead.
Yeah. As soon as he face checks that bush without any vision of the enemy team, yeah, that's his death right there. It's pretty tough for a Jarvan to live there unless he has really quick reactions to get over the wall as soon as possible, but it was pretty tough for him. Unfortunate that he just walks into a bush without vision, and it's very unfortunate that the enemy team just happens to be there, although he knew that there was a little the Baron dance going on. But Team Event Horizon posturing around this dragon because they know it's a little bit more free than the Baron, and they see the magic content in lane.
But now there's a lot of rotations towards that Baron. They know that they're on the dragon. Can they do it in time though? Is that Warwick taking a Raptors camp while they're trying to rush it? I can't. He was doing Raptors. Wait, no, you rush it or you do Raptors and you just give up the Cloud Drake. You don't do both. As now the Rakan is engaging on. This Baron is not low at all. They're getting so low. Already debuffed and taken low by the Baron. This is a very iffy fight for the red team. I am just completely blank. It was iffy for the red team, and then they just got 4 kills. I don't even. And that is an ace.
Okay.
That is an ace for keep Yasuo safe. I don't.
That is what that is.
Remember how we talked about keeping Yasuo safe falling off the more armor team Event Horizon got?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember how we talked about that? That's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. And you want to know why? Because Ty and Jasper got caught. You see, look at their death timers. You can see that they are about to be up in a few seconds. Oh, Comp about to die to minions. They're up now. See, they got caught like 5 to 10 seconds before the rest of their team got killed, which means they were definitely way out of position there.
Yeah, and also the Baron wasn't taken here. There was no objective taken with an ace. I'm a little iffy on that part too.
Yeah, the communication and the comms there were not on point. They could have easily just turned on that Baron. Warwick can tank it, sustain up because he's Warwick, and taken that. But instead, he gets the Raptor, and they get some damage on that in-hit, which is just
he got the Raptors that he so desperately wanted before the Baron. Yeah,
so clearly that Raptor camp is way more important than getting the Baron or the win. He needed that couple CS. He is 60 CS or almost 70 CS up, so I guess he wants to pad them stats. But we'll see how it works here. That was pretty bad. That 4 kills going over, all it really does is, or 5 kills, wasn't it?
Yeah,
putting
it was an ace.
Gold. It was an ace. Putting gold in their pockets and nothing more. They don't get any towers. They get the damage off on that mid lane inner, and they don't get the Baron. They don't get anything. And essentially, what that was 5 kills for a dragon is what that ended up being, and they're just back to
a Cloud Drake. That's 3 Cloud Drakes this game. That is the second one. And but look in the top lane. Yoda is a bit in an awkward position as he's getting collapsed on by worse than me and everyone else. Blinding by Vision does get ulted by the J4, and that Stone Plate is giving him some extra tankiness. That is a lot of health that he had. And Jasper getting chunked. Yeah, and that is why the Stone Plate is so good on Jarvan. He can go in and then use it and then get out. It gives him enough time to like wait until his rotations are up. But now there is no more Jarvan ulti. There is more Jarvan Stoneplate, and now he's back in it again. And Italis getting low, using the repel to try to get out, but Repel's next to someone right next to him. His ulti does come out. Yasuo getting a giant last breath in the back of the team. He is all by himself though, and he's getting very low. And that will be Ty picking up the kill onto not Evelyn. And this is what happens when you have full AD and you don't have a Black Cleaver.
That was actually a super close fight. Not Evelyn getting, what was it, a 4-man ult there?
Yeah, that was huge. That was the only reason they were even close. Because the Dep guy wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And, you know, a Black Cleaver shredding some armor there, you know, if Yoda shredded some armor, not Evelyn would have killed them. That would have been a 3-man at least kill for Evelyn, not Evelyn.
That would have been, that would have likely been an ace there, and their Baron, and probably the win. But instead, the Event Horizon get 4 kills and the Baron. See, the Event Horizon took that Baron after getting 4 kills, and
that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Like, you know that you have the advantage when nobody else is up, and you just take it. Even if one of your people is really low, you can just juggle aggro at the very least.
You can even just have one of them back. I mean, you can, you know, 4-person a Baron.
Yeah, easy.
And if one person is responding from the enemy team, their support, or maybe their sup in ADC, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow, that crit though.
Yeah, that Caitlyn is gonna do a lot of damage with those headshot crits.
Yeah, one thing we haven't touched on in a while, just looking at the scores, this Caitlyn is 8-1-7. She's outputting so much damage in this game, it's absolutely insane. She's in the backline, right-clicking on people's faces, and they're just dying. and there's not a whole lot that Team Keep Yasuo Silver can do except try and get on them. Ooh, going over the wall, and
Shooting Stars Warwick again, baby. But this time he's actually going to try to stick with it. Although that looks like this is going to be the end of that. And it looks like he might actually get collapsed on. The Magic Conch in a really weird spot. The quickness not connecting. Jasper using it a bit early and flashing and not getting it down. But it's still going to work anyways, as there's a whole team down there. And
That's
Magic
Tilter.
Conch got really aggressive there.
That's Tilter. That's when you know that. That's when you feel the I was so far ahead early game and now I feel useless. That's that moment where you just feel like the whole game is out of your hands and you can't do anything. So they're going in again.
And here they're fighting 5v4 though. Yeah, a giant last breath again, and this time it might be enough actually. His blinding vision is so low. Yasuo dies, not Evelyn not getting kills, and now this fight has just evolved completely. Itala is super low on the backside, looking for the dev guy, and he does get the dev guy. Ty has been alive the whole time though, with that Guardian Angel, not even close to being popped. Gets the ace, triple kill over to Ty, and this is gonna be at least one inhibitor.
Yeah, they're just gonna go bot.
Maybe, probably, I hope.
Yeah, they can probably go bot with this
Or
game.
an Elder. Elder into maybe they could go inhib and then on the Elder on the backside of that. Actually,
They can do both. The Caitlyn can just grab.
you go for the towers
tower.
first though, because you can get it on the way out.
You grab this free tower, send Caitlyn back to the Elder Dragon, finish off. But man, that fight was super messy. And tell me, Meowing Cat, what do you think was the #1 cause of that fight getting super chaotic there?
Maybe a giant last breath, which would have won the fight had it not been 4v5 yet again.
Yep. I also think it was somebody accidentally right-clicking that blast plant. Did you notice how everybody went flying there after
Oh
the
yeah,
Yasuo?
that caused a lot of. Was it an accident though? Maybe they wanted that dispersal and to cause that.
It's possible, but I'm
Whoever
thinking that was
caused
an
it
accident.
wanted it. They wanted to
Whoever
watch
caused
their
it-
team squirm around like little worms.
Yes, they did. I want to point out that no Black Cleavers are coming through at all this game.
I think that's a huge mistake.
That is definitely a huge mistake, especially from the Jarvan. The Jarvan is the one who has the space in his inventory to do it, for one, and who ends
He
up
went for a
building it.
locket instead, but you already
Yeah.
got one on companion. You don't. It is diminished return, right? It's still
You
nice to
have-
have multiple lockets, but
You have a locket on companion. You already have gargoyles still in place. So you don't need that many actives, and you're already tanky enough. You don't need that. You need more damage. Your team to be able to melt through.
it's
the
not
other
just
team
damage.
not
It's
killing them.
increasing your team's damage, not your
Yeah.
damage, but it makes everyone else on your team do more damage.
Team Event Horizon just getting this in hit for free basically. A team Keep also Silver just backing off and letting him take it.
Yeah.
Looks like they're just gonna rotate top lane too.
And so here they don't have a Baron, but they have an Elder Dragon,
She's gonna
and
tank
they are
it.
strong. They're just gonna smash the center. And this is the Elder Dragon is causing them to get 50% increased effects. So they have basically a third Cloud Dragon, which is a lot of movement speed that they're actually getting from Cloud Drake. Now Cloud Drake isn't really great unless you get multiple of them. And since Elder Dragon is multiplying the effect that they have basically 3, Air Drakes worth of Dragon, and oh, that is a dead companion as she is getting locked down, and that is night. As
That's
Jasper
definitely
went
gotta be
in using the quickness again, again not connecting much, but that is no Braum here to front line anymore.
I just made a tower for free.
Yeah. Jarvan going in here. Yoda going for a last ditch attempt. Now they're looking for a fight. Magic Conch going in with the ultimate. Not getting a good last breath though. Not Evelyn not even able to pop it yet. Guardian Angel pop. But everyone is dropping right now. Ty is going crazy. Blinding Vision is going crazy. And all of Team Event Horizon has went crazy as they have gotten an ace on to keep Yasuo safe. And they have won game 2 to 2-0 the series.
That was a really solid game by Team Event Horizon there. And guess what? They had 3 Ninja Tabis and they won that game. Coincidence? I think not.
Ninja Tabi is confirmed broken. I mean, they really aren't unless you're against so many auto attackers like this. They looked at the team and they said, there is a Warwick, auto attacker, Jarvan, auto attacks, Yasuo, extremely heavy auto attacker, and then a Lucian, auto attacker. And they looked at that and then they decided, we need Ninja Tabis, and then look at the other team and look what they didn't get.
Yep.
You want to give them the answer?
Black Cleaver.
Yeah. Do you want to have any wrapping up points though about the series?
Well played series by both teams. Team, keep Yasuo safe, trying out these full AD comps, and you can see the weaknesses there. It really showcases what each team can do and the ideas that each team has, and hopefully we'll get more good ones next week.
Yeah, and with that, that will wrap up the series. Thank you all for joining us. This has been a very interesting show match, to say the least. But if you enjoyed it and you want to see more, you can definitely follow us here on Twitch. Follow the Discord link down below or the Twitter link. Learning Fives lol. Is that the Twitter? Let's double check that. It is actually just Learning Fives with a 5 instead of the full word fives. So
Okay.
feel free to follow us on Twitter. Brian keeps that updated, I'm pretty sure.
Someone does.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
definitely join the Discord though. That is where most of the stuff is going down. And we will see you guys next week, where we will most likely have some more show matches, and we might even have some special events coming up soon. So make sure to stay tuned and updated.
Yep.
And it's been a blast casting for you guys. On behalf of me, Penguin God, the teams, and all of Learning Fives, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful night.
There's a fire that burns inside. It's an instinct that never lies. The target's tattooed between our eyes. Stand and fight under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Everyone's watching through your eyes. There's only two options, win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. There's a power that's underneath, and you can't see it till you believe. On the edge of infinity. Feel the rush under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Everyone's watching through your eyes. There's only two options, win or die. Win or die. Win or die.